What's good, everyone? Welcome to LKO June 22nd edition. We're here for the very first Guilty Gear Strive bracket here at Low Kick Online. I am Dynamite, joined by Doctor to bring you some fantastic 64-person Guilty Gear Strive action on a Tuesday, hoping for some blowups. Doctor, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I've been having so much fun with this game, and I'm super excited to be here on the microphone talking about it even more than I already have been. And with 64 people in the bracket already, that's insane. We're going to be heating for it tonight. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's really nice to see the brackets fill up for LKO Strive. Definitely been the talk of the town for the last 2 weeks, so to speak. So,
Yeah.
I'm happy to see that a lot of different events are getting supported, including this one.
Yeah, I've been having a ton of events. We actually, here in Boston, just had our first in-person local for it this last weekend. Shout out to
Nice.
Boston Blue Beat. So that was also a huge bracket. So the people are showing up whenever, wherever for this game, and you have to credit it to the netcode at this point, right? Like we've had a year of online games, and I don't think we've really had anything outside of maybe Street Fighter that sees this type of excitement.
Yeah. I mean, new game. A lot of people have been trying it out, checking it out. Obviously, with the netcode being, really good, a lot more people are jumping in. So I expected it to be really hot and heavy, and I like it. I'm glad that people from all over the, region where we normally wouldn't see them be able to jump in are able to sign up for whatever tournament, whatever time of the day, whatever, day of the week. It's really cool because you could be, used to signing up for your region, and then all of a sudden, bam, someone from the West Coast is in there that's really good at the game. So it really gives us a lot of different looks that we wouldn't have unless we were at a major.
Yeah, and you're getting all types of levels of experience in gaming as well. I was looking at the Discord chat here a little bit before we kicked off tonight, and there's people that are like brand new beginners, never entered a tournament before, and then we're seeing players like Sonic Fox and Punk just be very dominant in the game as well. So we're getting all types here. It's really you really love to see it.
Absolutely, and I'm excited that we are finally running Guilty Gear Strive. Have been looking into a lot of the different tournament scenes and trying to take notes from them, see what players are strong. But finally, we got Guilty Gear Strive here at LKO, and I am so excited to support it. And you know what? If you are out there tuning in to the stream, please restream us. Let us know. Let the people know that we're running live. Also, hit up that Matcherino, use the free code, add in 50 cents for these players doing what it does on a Tuesday night. You gotta love weekday tournaments because it's a little something special, right? Like you get that after work, refreshment, kick back, relax, and enjoy some entertainment.
Yeah, I mean it's such a different vibe than like a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon tournament because you're doing whatever you're doing on the weekend, whether it's chores or relaxing, and it's a whole totally different vibe. But club go up on a Tuesday, as they say, and you get to really just grind it out with a bunch of buddies. It's still a tournament though, so you do still have to go all out, but it's a very different situation.
It's a completely different scenario, and I can't wait to see how many people are going to go in with expectations and come out with different realities. It's exciting for me because I haven't been able to catch all of the Strive footage all over the place because there's
There's
just
so
been so
much of
much
it.
to do. It's a ton of it. But I know we got some of the Midwest crew in the bracket as well. They always represent well for us here at Low Kick Esports, and I'm excited to see what they got. I've been, seeing Twitter clips from some of the Midwest homies and things like that. But this is where we finally get to see him rumble and go at it. So I'm super hyped for it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's so much footage. Like, even if you pick just 4 tournaments out of a hat that are weeklies, you're looking at like 24 hours worth of footage just on those 4 events. And then you start picking in like some of your more local tournaments, like maybe you have a couple like online locals, like I'm saying locals, like I mean specific to your region, like you're talking about here in the Midwest, and all of a sudden you're adding like 4 or 6 hours on top of like Levo and TNS and things like that, and it's almost a full-time job just to keep up with it all.
Right? Like I have to take time specifically on certain days of the week to get into things and be able to just follow all the footage. But speaking of getting into things, it looks like we're going to get our first match. It's going to be Juggernaut versus Musket Giggity.
I seem to be having issues with the Discord going on if you are as well. But I can see it live on Twitch, and that seems to be going good. Juggernaut already off to a great start here with a ton of damage coming out. Does get kind of hit back to mid-screen, but outside of that, still looking pretty strong.
Yeah, Juggernaut going with Faust. I'm really surprised. It is one of those things where he likes to pick new characters. Faust not exactly the most popular character in the game at the moment, but Juggernaut making it work and taking round 1.
Faust is probably like the only character where I like feel bad for the players that play this character because it is so not great comparing it to the rest of the cast. And so it's a bit rough out here for these guys, but they somehow still make it work as, you know, Juggernaut once again off to an early lead.
Yeah, Juggernaut one of those people that picks a character that he likes and just runs with it no matter what. In Dragon Ball FighterZ, he main Frieza and pretty much the same team for the entire run through. So and he makes it work. Like don't look down on him. You know, Android 21 when she through all of her ups and downs on the team, Frieza on the team. So it's one of those things where Juggernaut certainly isn't foreign to, you know, making the characters that he likes work. And on the other side, we have Axel, who's slowly been creeping into a lot more top 8s now that we've had some time with the game. And what are your thoughts on the Axel so far, Doc?
Axel is really interesting because, like you were saying, he's been on the come up lately. He needs more lab work, right? People are learning how to play the zone game. They're learning where you can interrupt these kind of mauling characters like the Ramethals and the Souls, and so they're seeing the cracks in the armor. They're able to keep the distance a lot more. And now that the practice is coming out, we're actually getting damage out of Axel, which was something that a lot of people said he might be missing a little bit early on. And just the strings are coming out, the combos are working together now, and we're starting to see some stuff come out. And of course, he's got a full screen command grab. How can you go wrong?
You really can't go wrong with the full screen command grab, but Juggernaut making it all go right at the moment, pushing Musket Giggity to that left side corner, throwing out a bomb, and all tragedy. You got blown up by your own, you digs, the life of False.
It's tough out here for the medical field, but we gotta stay together. Does get the, you know, kind of mixed up there. That's an interesting move because it can be a grab, it can be a high, and it can be whatever we just saw out of that.
Yeah, you got to be really attentive and kind of know the matchup when it comes to the options that False has. Not too many of them out there either, so we'll see if Musket Giggity can adapt. Juggernaut throwing out some treats for Axel, who's stuck in the corner at the moment. There's the bomb down, and again, Juggernaut taking damage from your own digs, but still has a slight life advantage until that moment right there.
Yes, this is getting, like, it's looking a little tough here for Juggernaut now that Musket is getting a little bit of a read on the situation now. You know, not having as many struggles with the items that are coming out of Faust, and is able to actually get, you know, this damage down, these trade combos, jumping into the exploding bag. Does kind of have to delay the falling, but it worked out clearly.
Oh, speaking of working out, good trade on Musket Giggity's and going to take things to duel 3. You know, Juggernaut with the 1 on the other side. So we are going to first to 2 until last 3 of the night. So these are going to be fast matches, but Musket Giggity trying to keep things alive. There's the burst there. Almost had to. Did not want to get pushed towards that wall.
Went for the command grab as well, but that got jumped out of. Goes for it again. Double jump into the exploding bag head, but not exactly going to work out that time. The trumpet's there for the taking, and it goes over to Juggernaut. Actually going to connect as well.
If you really want to pick up those beneficial items, I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea what the full cycle of false items are because I have not played against one at all online, and I've been talking in some hours. So maybe Musket Giggity has a different experience.
True. I think there's 3 beneficial ones. It's like the horn, the banana, the donut. I think that's it for just like universal beneficial. Well, yeah, Meteor and Megaton Hammer for Faust workout, but I was thinking more like that the other player could grab up. Um, yeah, I think you can kick the bomb back too, which we just saw there from Musket Giggity, which does a pretty healthy amount of damage to Faust when it connects as well. So
Yeah, that's gonna be
Not bad.
Jokernaut taking it, and not a bad performance either. Axel, as I said before, one of those characters that people are saying is super duper on the come up, and Jokernaut just playing extremely well. No surprise there. Unique character. That's a good old fashioned Midwest performance for the Jokernaut.
yeah, one thing that Axel really kind of struggles with right now is just getting, mauled in the corner. And well, we didn't see a whole lot of that because it is Faust. It is much more this kind of mid-screen style play with these long buttons and the item pulls. When you do get in, there's not a whole lot Axel can do to get back out. So we didn't see like any YRCs. We saw a couple good bursts, but it was just, Jokernaut getting in, applying a lot of pressure, and hitting the right buttons.
Hey, sometimes that's all it takes in the wonderful world of the FGC, and you'll get yourself a victory for sure. I am curious to see what some of the other Midwest usuals for other games, what other characters they're playing, because I haven't gotten the full rotation in the download list on what characters everyone's playing. Some of them are more obvious than others, but this is kind of like the debut tournament for the Midwest region I was saying before, and it's curious to see who sticks with characters that they've used in previous Gear games and who comes over and tries something completely new.
Yeah. I mean, I do know that a lot of characters are somewhat different from their, previous installments. I'm not familiar with the earlier installments. I wasn't a Plus R player. I wasn't an Xrd player. So I just know them as they are today. And you know what? I think they're better people for the way they're integrated here now. Just doing better in life. They've glowed up a little bit, and we don't have
graduated. Got themselves out of debt, paid off that the old car note. Just doing better.
Exactly. Oh, speaking of doing better, Leo and May, two characters that I would have expected to see a lot more of on release, but I think the fact that Soul is just so good right now kind of stifled that a bit. Because I saw these characters a lot in Beta 2.
You're saying you haven't seen a lot of Maze? Can I have your online history, please?
I was just like, comparatively, no.
I want your fortune online. That's all I'm saying.
You can have it. I do so much better against May than Soul. That character just abuses me. But look at this. Gets caught out of the air, brings him right back down. Here comes Glover. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Dynamite, you're going to have to help me out.
Chie Lover.
Chie Lover.
Yeah, persona. There's the burst there from Hydrophobic. Going to close it out with ye old Totsugeki cancel off of the anchor, and I've seen so many of those, I can't tell you when it's going to stop. But right now, Chie Lover a little bit behind, but I actually like that round from them. Pretty much had everything go well, except the lost that
winning part.
Yeah. That's probably the part that matters.
You would think so, but now you kind of have to hold this. The Totsugeki's coming out, reads the time to challenge it, though. That fast one is negative, and you can actually get a button press out of it. Goes for the parry as well. Keeps him back to the corner, but oh no, the Totsugeki!
Burst there from Chie Lover, going to keep that pressure going. Hydro out of the corner, but the cross through and the red Roman cancel into the turbulence, back throw mix. No, just smash it out. Why not? I play May anyway.
Mashing P is definitely going to get you out of a lot of situations right now. Unless you have those meaties on point, you're going to get interrupted.
Yeah, Hydrophobic moving clean through the waters so far, on their way to moving on in the bracket. Chie Lover, though, like I said, had a lot of the right answers in aggression with Leo. Just putting those last bits together can be difficult against May. There's a big counter hit to start things off, though.
Yeah, the character Leo also kind of struggles, I think, a little bit in some situations, because you do lose the ability to block when you go to back turn. But right now we're seeing Chie Lover have a struggle to actually get to even that back turn state. Is going to go for the flash kick just to relieve some pressure, but again, you're stuck face forward, getting Totsugeki'd, and it's not good for the complexion.
It's really not good for the complexion. You know, you can't just sit in the water all day and night. You got to get out, otherwise you're going to get all wrinkly and things are going to get rough. Speaking of which, match point for hydrophobic Chie Lover. Really, last chance here for the winner's side.
That saltwater is causing a bit of a problem here with Chie Lover. Gonna get first blood once again, but can we see more pressure being applied? Gets the back turn throw. Hits him low as well, but you don't really get a whole lot of that unless you're immediate on the mid right after.
Yeah, or you know, you can red RC after or something like that, but you gotta be on point with it. And speaking of on point, 6H gonna finish out that combo right there. Side throw or side switch from Chie Lover, immediate burst. Don't blame hydrophobic, but still in trouble city in the corner.
Oh, the aggressive flash kick trying to apply pressure. Not gonna quite work out as we get the red RC, Totsugeki. Is this the first? Is this a rage quit? Is this what happens? I haven't had one of those yet in online. Or is it just PC neckhead?
Well, I don't know yet. We're going to find out soon. We're checking the opponent's connection, you know, make sure everything's good. Calling up Comcast to see, you know, what's what. We did have a storm come through the Midwest, so you never know what lines are up and down. And I think we're going to go thumbs down on this one. This one is a little rough. Oh.
The round ended. Just kick us back to the lobby game. It's 2-0.
No, we gotta watch this beautiful post round. Yeah. Yeah, I just got off work. I really don't need any more PowerPoints, but you know, I'll take it, I guess.
And then just like that, we're out.
We are definitely out. I'm not sure if that was a rage quit or just there's only one person left on the stand at the moment, so I don't know. Shadow Realm does happen out here. You got to be careful.
It's scary in the 8-bit world. I mean, you really never know what to expect. So, either way, Hydrophobic does move on 2-0 in the bracket here. And I do believe our next matchup is going to be Navy versus Hyper Hiko.
Yeah. So this is going to be a Hyper Hiko has been active in the Low Kick Discord. Shout outs to Hyper Hiko for being active in the Low Kick Discord and you know, doing some damage from what I've been reading. I peruse from time to time when I'm not working, and yeah, I'm excited to see this one coming up. So who do you main? Because you were like, yeah, main, no problem. I'm just gonna, you know, slide on through. Who are you running with?
Since the official release, I've been running Geo.
Okay. Well,
both betas I played Ramlethal, so
okay.
You know, we're chilling right now. We're having a good time.
I mean, you're having a great time. You're having a fantastic time.
We're waiting to see what the patch brings, to see if we need to make any adjustments. But for now, we're having a good time. I made it to floor 9 in like single-digit matches. Like, we're good.
It's I don't blame you. You know, choose wisely. You know, the old Indiana Jones. You know, choose wisely. Don't drink from the wrong cup, you know?
No, and I mean, so here's the thing. I do love both characters' play style. Like, the one thing that really drew me to Ramlethal in the betas was just the big, like, buttons, right? Like, you just swing the sword, and it just feels so nice when it connects. And, like, so speaking of, like, the screen we have here, Nagoriyuki, very similar situation. Big buttons, strong hits. That blood mechanic is brutal, though, and having to manage it and make sure that you're not exploding at the wrong time, it's tough. The Nagoriyuki players are huge brain, like probably the biggest on the cast.
I appreciate the compliments. What I always say is, look, Nago is working overtime. He's black, a vampire, and a samurai. That's 3 jobs. They just want you to, you know, feel like you're also working 3 jobs by managing the blood mechanic. However, if you get stuff like that started with the 2H into the dash forward 6H, you can do massive amounts of damage. That blood bar gets full, your normals get more powerful. Yeah, you're kind of locked out of your specials, but if you land hits, you make them count.
Yeah, we do see so far a really great job here from Hyper Hiko to jump out of the command grabs, out of that bite, which does drain the blood gauge. I think they jumped out of 3 that round specifically, so is also aware of what the Nago game plan is going to be.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're up against Nago and you see that blood gauge full, you got to guess whether or not they're going to try to go for the command grab or something tricky. Right now, Hyper Hiko staying mobile, gets clipped up by a couple of 5Ps. Into the corner we go. Another jump. We're aerial. And, oh no.
As soon as as this comes up, we're going to explode. Next button, there it is. Doesn't knock him back either, but still in time to recover.
Yeah, but the damage has been done. Jumping in with the H, just swing away, May.
Tochigeki into the jump P is all it takes at the end. I feel so bad for you guys. That blood drain is just, it's too strong. I do think you guys need a little bit more life here.
It's a life you decide to live. You know, you put the mask on so they can't see your facial expression, and blood rage does pop until blood rage pop, I should say. And it's look, it feels really good to do well with the character. I can say that.
Yeah.
But it can be difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That was a bad burst, unfortunately. There gets the second RC from Hyperego as well. Pretty solid round there from the Dolphin Master, and we'll see if maybe can pull this back a little bit here. This is not the round start you want to go. Oh no.
Well, yeah, the name is Navy Not, so definitely not a friend of the seas whatsoever. But Hyperego is trying to wash away all hope and move on to the second round. Big 2H there. Move forward on the Fukyo. Again, missed the command grab. The timing was just a little bit off.
Yeah, that wake up timing can be brutal unless you're ready for it. We're not seeing super to break the wall either from Hyperego, which is, I think right now, I think it's the best way to break the wall if it's available for most characters. Or reversal it. That's a very valid use as well.
Sizable William coming out to close things out for the second game for Hyperego. Yes, I agree. Using the super at the wall is really good, right? You get the Oki, you're going to make the tension back with positive bonus. For most characters, probably the option to go. There are nuanced times where, depending on the player, it's like a player-to-player specific thing. You might want to keep your meter because you want to go for like some block string pressure, or, you know, with purple RC or red RC or even blue RC, some stuff like that. But typically, you want to cash out because you'll get the meter back.
Yeah, I think for the characters that have the easy options, right, they can get a low to the ground wall splat. They can get, you know, super simple, super mace. Like May is a great one for it. You know, like you said, you get that tension positive bonus, and then you also get like the attack buff, right? Which, I don't know, like that started coming out, at least informational wise, like a couple days after the game. I just started hearing about that attack bonus. I think it was like Friday or Saturday, just a couple days ago, and I'm like,
yes,
that just seems broken. That just seems like a really strong mechanic to just have in the game, where you just break the wall and you're like, oh, I'm just better than you now. GG's, go next.
Oh, Jay shouldn't have got pushed through the wall. I mean, just like in real life, you fight somebody and you knock them through a wall, you should be winning, right? Like, I think that if I knock someone through a wall in real life, I feel like I should be winning at that point.
You probably have an attack boost at that point because they're not feeling so hot.
Exactly. Yeah, but like you said, definitely the option to go to. I think that we're seeing so many different corner pressure setups to get that wall break, right? Like a lot of the higher level parts of the game that I see developing are Oki setups off of purple RC, things like a blue RC to try to stop the opponent's immediate wake up, things like that, just so that, hey, the next hit I get guarantees a wall break.
Yeah, I've been talking to like some command grab players, or you know, grapplers as some people may call them. They seem to think that using the RCs for grapples is in a way a better usage than the wall break itself too, right? Like if you're talking to a pot player, they know that a purple RC pot buster is probably more worthwhile than just sending them through the wall with like a flick or another button. So I'm excited to see how that like pans out in the length of the game, to see what becomes truly optimal, and obviously to see what Arxis does balance wise around mechanics like that. But this whole Chip versus Eno,
yeah,
this is going to explode. These are going to be 10-second rounds.
Yeah, one way or the other, it's gonna be over. Either Chip's gonna get the mix in, or Eno's just gonna have her way. And you know, note is a thing in this game. I always say you gotta be. Whew, that is a thing to deal with.
Are you of the mind that Chip is really good, like all the Japanese players tier list that came out earlier today?
So I think Chip is good. I haven't actually seen the Japanese tier list that dropped today, but I think Chip is strong. You know, we've seen Chip put in work recently. We've seen Kenso put in a lot of work. We've seen, you know, in the Midwest we have Chris Chaos, who's also putting in work with Chip. So Chip can definitely do the do. I don't know about his relative strength compared to the cast, but I don't think he's weak.
So, spoiler, Japanese players basically all had him S tier. Some people, one or two of them, had him as the only S tier. So I'm gonna have to peep those VODs that they're playing with later on. But look at that. It is a very tight round there for Soldran to finally take it out over Dan Naturals.
Yeah, Soldran not playing around at all. No joking matter. Dan Naturals really got oppressed in that corner over there. Their stroke of victory, though. Into the cancel here. Yep, air dash again. Wall. RC for the resplat. Oh, yeah, somebody's been labbing for sure. Dan Naturals making it look easy.
Yeah, the drill pressure is really odd because it feels so different compared to a lot of the rest of the game. Specifically feels very different compared to the rest of the cast. And I feel like that's how she's always been in a way.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, because she has the aerial dash for her regular dash mechanic and things like that, to crack them over the dome, playing all the notes at once, is going to be one of those characters that are different when it comes to the rest of the cast, and she gets a lot of advantages for that.
Players that have been putting the work with her have been really showing up a lot. I know Diaphone has been putting in a lot of good work with her as well. So far, able to keep it tight. Does get a huge counter hit here from Soldran, though. Gets the command grab as well. Nice damage on that one. Goes for it again. Go for a third.
You got to at this point. Got the counter hit instead. Don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, double leaf grab. You expect the third, but Soldran showing us how it's done. Perfection at its best. And that is going to be the very first one for Soldran.
I think this is actually going to end up in the long run kind of being a really good matchup for Chip because you can get so much good damage down. That's one of the things that he really has to worry about is just getting exploded. And I feel like a lot of the rest of the cast and a lot of the top tiers do that exceptionally well. And as I say that, we're down to 10% HP. Let's Soldran kind of blowing up my point. But
it's no stranger, to danger for Chip players. They know, the character that they picked, and they know that the character explodes. However, if they get the momentum and control the game, it can be very hard to block them. So that's the trade-off. And you live by the sword, die by the sword with Chip.
Yeah, you need to be so aware of simply everything, right? Because anytime an RC becomes available, anytime burst is available, like these matter so much against this, high risk, high reward character that people are loving, people are really enjoying. I think the Chip players aren't super mad about this, situation of the game. They might be, little tears of sadness every time they see that clip of Remlethal just one-shotting him with the clone, but that's why we don't use that move, chat.
Well, you know what? I think everybody's seen Chip blow up on Twitter. No, I don't think they're affected by it any. And you know what? I've seen so much Chip tech, like actual Chip tech, come out that the people who are just relying on those Twitter clips, oh my goodness, just the dunk overhead. As I was saying, the people who are relying on the Twitter clips are not going to necessarily go up against a Chip and just be like, oh, I'm just going to do the Twitter thing. Good luck. Good luck. You got to block the mix first.
Yeah, and it's not easy out here. Unless you're prepared for it, you are going to get blown up by it. Mistimed drill there does get punished up a little bit there by Soldran. But, oh, huge counter hit. Into the corner we go. Blocks the tree. Gets that forward throw on that.
DP breaking out of here. Alpha Blade going to convert. Push. Dan Naturals into the corner. A good trade in Soldran's favor. Purple RC to keep it clean. That note has a lot of hits on it. Yeah, forced to block the whole thing. Note is dangerous, more dangerous as it travels across the screen. And the mix coming in from Soldran, trying to keep Dan Naturals guessing. Oh, counter hit stroke the big tree. A lot of trouble here.
Leads to a lot of damage most of the time. You got to be so aware of it. You can do a lot to prevent the stroke the big tree from coming through, though. But you do need to be aware of which one is actually coming away.
For sure. Last chance, last dance for both of these players.
Oh, no!
Teleport. Oh, HCL.
I think they wanted to burst a bit earlier there, trying to, obviously be closer to try and get more burst knockback, but just too far away.
Dan Naturals does have that burst. Decides not to use it despite the big counter hit off of the Alpha Blade. Stroke the big tree coming in again. And now Soldran in the corner. Definitely doesn't want to be there. Use that triple jump to get out, but still gets clipped.
They're trying to play this spacing game so nice, but can interrupt that alpha blade. Does get blown up a little bit, jumps back, but we're back to the corner we go, and this is where Eno can do a lot of good work. He's trying to keep him trapped in the corner. YRC keeps the pressure going. BRC, but it's all blocked.
Definitely all blocked, but the leaf grab going to get close. RC, oh yeah, clean it all the way up. And now we're into duel 3. This is the rubber match for sure for these two players.
These rounds are ended up lasting a lot longer than I was kind of expecting because both players are so aware of how easy it is to explode that they're playing, pretty optimal here, making sure they're not putting themselves overextended situations. And I mean, look at this sequence. Like, this is lapped out. You know that this has been practiced. Big counter hit though.
Yeah, Dan Naturals hitting the eject button with the reversal wake up super, and now the dive going to close things out. Soldier Ram almost but not quite, and the last tune of the night goes to Dan Naturals for that set.
Well, not the last. We got plenty more ahead of us. Like we were saying earlier, 64-man bracket here for Low Kick Online, and we got the 2 pools going, which means everybody's playing right now. Everybody.
Yeah, 2 pools, 64 people. Shout outs to everyone who signed up. Shout outs to all the people in the chat hanging out. Make sure you hit up that Matcherino code, hashtag Matcherino. Put in the code LKO June 21 GGST, 50 cents into the bucket for the players. Let's show them some love as we continue on. Next up, we're going to have Zach in a Box versus Hydrophobic. Hydrophobic, we saw up earlier. Zach in a Box on Zato. So this will be a different matchup and a different look for Hydro.
Yeah, I've seen Zach in a Box a couple times now. Has had some pretty tricky mix-ups there with Zato. Very high execution character, right? Like, it's a character you have to, like, we're talking about how like Chip and Eno have stuff to be aware of. With Zato, you have like a whole other character to pilot at the same time because you do have that little Eddie blob, and when it's like working and you're taking advantage of your other player, it looks nigh unstoppable. But as soon as you get like ran up on and trapped in a corner, it looks a little flat.
Yeah, I mean, that's the life of Zato, but definitely have been seeing Zato do work. Tempo Never Sleeps Grand Finals actually had a Zato mirror between the Midwest Macho, shout out to Macho, and Nokami. It was a really good set. So, exactly as you said, Zato is the type of character that knocks you down, hands you a multiple choice question and says, pick the right one. You guessed half a second. You guessed wrong. I didn't give you a pencil. It was none of them. And now you're in another block string and or the full on hit confirm. It's really rough.
It's basically just the scene from Men in Black 1 where Will Smith is trying to take the test and his pencil breaks, and then it breaks again, and then it breaks a third time, and he pulls the table over and everybody's just staring at him like that. It's the same thing.
It's pretty much that, except with shadows. So, it's one of them things that you really do, as you said, have to know, right? It's the knowledge check. And I think as the game develops, people will get better at it, question mark. But I mean, so? if you would hope so, but at the same time, it's still difficult, right? The mental stack starts to overload. And especially if you get frustrated, it can look like a clean sweep, like you said. So pressure on Zato is usually the answer, but you got to get there. You got to earn it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember, Hydrophobic was on the May, so it's definitely a character that can, do that, right? You can force Zato back into the corner. You got to hold the Totsugekis. You can just smother him in whale blubber and really ruin his day. And I think it might be a little easy, right? You can do the upwards dolphin, obviously the regular Totsugeki. If you go for the heavy version, it is plus, and I do believe you can get over a good portion of the Zato stuff, except for Frog, obviously, because that's in the sky.
I was just going to say Frog is really important because it can stop May's jumping heavy slash, where, that button can give a lot of people trouble. However, Zato, if the Frog Splash is ready to go, can really do work against that particular button.
Oh, the air grab, keep him in the corner. Really nice stuff there. That move is super quick from Zato to get out. So he's showing that Hydrophobic's ready for it. Should get the wall splat here. Doesn't break it. I think it was too high. It was the real thing.
Yeah, just a little too high. Zach in the Box does have the mid screen for the moment. But do you ever really have the mid screen when May's sitting there charging the Totsugeki? I don't think so.
Nope. So this is something we see a lot here from Zach in a Box. Is using that super to try and apply pressure with plus frames, and that time Hydrophobic was ready for it, was able to respond appropriately afterwards, and Zach in the Box wasn't able to really get a whole lot off of that 50 tension usage.
Shadow pressure there, trying to set up the corner situation, but Hydro moving forward with Totsugeki, par usual for May, and now Zach in a little bit of trouble in the corner.
Back against the wall, somehow has to get out, uses the PRC to try and buy some space. Nice back throw, and now we can play the Zato game. Okay, Totsugeki.
Pressure here for Zach, forcing Hydro to make a move, and does, finally gets back to mid-screen. Zach looking to counter hit with the 6P, and does. Shadow Kermit coming out in the drill, another Shadow Kermit, two-part episode.
I haven't heard that one before, that's good. I'll steal that. But yeah, the 6P, such a good tool here. Can't actually 6P the Dolphin, like some people say, but he can respond appropriately afterwards. Goes for the dust, but I think they're still in block string for the full one. But the command grab hurts. Is this enough? With the wall splat? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, the risk meter was cranked for Hydro, right? So that on top of the wall damage, on top of the super, Trouble City.
Keep that place. Every time I gotta go there, it's a nightmare.
It's really bad. It's really bad. Only terrible things happen there. But Hydro trying to make good things happen. The throw OS from Zach gonna end up with the corner pressure now. Hydro hemmed up. No, I was lying. He had friends all along.
Oh no, that's so much damage. Oh, missed the break itself though. Went for the swing up, but didn't quite connect. And now Zach given second life, connects with the frog, but it was broken. This is plus, right? This should be something for him to do.
Omega plus there, but May does not look like the type of person that does mathematics. Don't care. Long hair. Activation again from Zach to call out the Sharks. See what Hydrophobic's really all about in the waters.
To be fair, do Pirates really need mathematics? I don't think so. We're just mashing at this point. Does get the back throw. Pressure being applied. Frogs in the sky. Gets the command grab, and that'll do it. Zach making a great recovery in this game.
Big feast mode for Zach right now, and one on the board, more importantly. Hydro, I mean, was really squirrely in that match, kind of moving all over the place, stuck in the corner for a moment, then jumping out, but Zach was just able to kind of control May, if that's even a saying that can be used right now in the game's meta, but somehow it was done.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big portion of it was that even when, you know, Hydrophobic was able to get some pressure going, it wasn't like those very long strings that, you know, we were seeing a little bit earlier from them. But I think one critical thing in that last round there was the wall break not actually happening and giving Zach that second chance at life.
Right now, Hydro being pushed further and further into the corner. Zach just controlling space. But you know what? If Totsugeki doesn't work once, it'll work twice. There's the full RC conversion there, and now Zach has to guess. This is rough. Still has burst, though, if he gets clipped. No, wall break instead. Last chance, last dance for Zach.
That wall break combo so good. Gets the back throw. Has a little bit of meter here to set up Eddie. Might just RC this? Yeah. No burst available. Not able to kill, though. That's so close. It's a pixel on each side.
And a dream left for both players at the moment. Zach with burst, but I don't even see why you would use it at this point. You just take whatever you can get for this round.
A 6P coming through once again. The skull working out quite nicely here for Zach.
All right, Zach on match point. Shadow Kermit coming out from behind the rewind. Pressure for Hydro. Got to block it all. Risk gauge is a little high, but Zach backs off. Lets the Eddie Mini recharge.
And it's fully up now, so what can you do? Totsugeki comes out, and Hydrophobic has to play for their life right now. They're currently down 1-0 in down the round. Has to burst out the pressure.
Zach putting the hands together for this child, going to pray for it and continue the assault. Oh, the fly over, but the purple RC on the canceled Totsugeki. Zach with the final corner pressure sequence, perhaps.
Oh, and the dust comes through, and dust is really good right now. If you don't know that, Dynamite, it's really good.
Yeah,
you should be dusting really everybody.
Just run up dust. Just do it.
You joke, but like, so You can get guaranteed 200 damage on Dust if you either bait Burst or they simply don't have Burst. If you play Soul, you can actually get over 300 damage off of a Dust. And specifically, so this is a Soul combo I learned today. If you Fafnir Red RC fully charged Dust, you get 304 damage.
That sounds like a Soul combo.
And
That's all
you
you
take
need to say
advantage of the
was-
guard break.
You could have broken that up into Soul combo, Fafnir, Dust, 300 damage, and I would have believed you.
Yeah. I'm trying to find out if you can do the same thing with Ramlethal too, because her Rekka guard breaks. And so, like, in theory, you could do something similar where you just guard break, Red RC, full charge Dust.
It's wild. No, you are right, though. And all jokes aside, Dust, full charge Dust into the air chase sequence is really, really good. Like, on all characters. So it's something to be mindful of, especially if you kind of sneak it in from at the end of a round or like in the middle. Just don't go to it too often to whereas your opponent kind of knows it's coming. But if you can guarantee it, like in the Red RC situation that you mentioned, why not?
Yeah. And it's not like, coming from Dragon Ball, it's not that hard of a combo to learn for the air combo there, because it's very similar where it's just slash heavy slash jump cancel slash heavy slash jump cancel KK. Was it DD or is it PP? I don't remember actually. For the universal one.
So if you double tap any button, it'll knock down.
Yeah,
it'll do the ender. I'm not sure the universe. I play Nago, so like, is anything universal?
What's a Dust combo?
Don't do me like that, doctor. Don't put me in the clinic. Come on now. Let's keep it fair. But yes, you're right. It is something that really pays off big dividends. And speaking of that, go ahead and make sure these payers are receiving some of those dividends as well. Free code in the Matcherino. Links in the chat. LKO June 21 GGST.
Yeah, and if you aren't of the copy and pasting variety for the codes and you just want to click buttons, there are all those sponsor quests as well. It's just as simple as clicking the link and then you click either follow or subscribe on whoever the link takes you to. Super duper easy. And as we can see here, not only are they just contributing to the pod here tonight, right, which is obviously an amazing thing. These players definitely deserve it. Some of these even are direct donations to the Red Cross, which is, a great organization. They're doing good work around the entire globe and deserve, every bit of support that they can get as well. So you can double dip on your charitable, goodness here today, chat, in case you didn't do anything good for humanity today.
Yeah, I mean, why not do even more for humanity? Even if you did, why stop? With the 9 to 5 or whatever hours you might work. So yeah, we appreciate it too. It definitely shows that love. It shows the support for the game. Even though you see Matcherino everywhere, I love to see people supporting it because it really does show, hey, the community's behind you and we're doing it all together.
Yeah, shout out to Matcherino too, by the way, because they, I don't know if you know Sermi or if you follow Sermi, they work for Matcherino and they help work on the partner program. And they were just tweeting out the other day how they have close to 1,000 partners in the Matcherino partner program. Whether it's events like this, there are, man, he talked about all kinds of ones. There's speedrunning events. There's like world championship events and things like that help support the players and help support scenes that may not get a lot of love and may not get a lot of support. And so it's all thanks to the people here at chat, the people on Twitter and stuff that support the links as well. Like, that is helping everybody grow and helping everybody out here, which is just simply amazing.
Absolutely. And we here at Kick Esports are huge fans of Sermi. Shout outs to Sermi and Matcherino. They have been there the whole way through, even before 2020. So much love to the Matcherino crew and Sermi especially.
Yep. And so I do think we had to remake the room. Which is
unfortunate. I think we did. We work with what we got. Matches have been great though, and sometimes you just gotta refresh the room a bit to keep things going at the moment. And it shouldn't take much longer before we get another match, which should be, if I'm reading correctly, Icebound and Trevor.
Cool. Love to see
So,
it.
not sure who Trevor plays. Was a Bubs player in for Granblue, so seeing them around, and yeah, I'm excited to see who they're going to break out and give us a little bit of a look-see at.
Yeah, and so the winner of this will go on to play Nook, who has beaten the likes of Sonic Spear, Bad Karma, and Brother Shaw. That would be in the winners semifinals, which makes that matchup for top 8. So whoever wins here between Drevard and Icebound is then playing for winner side top 8 right after that. So
Wow.
bit of pressure coming in here, because if you lose now, you go all the way down to the well, what do you call it here? Is it a alternative winners bracket, or do we just
No, it's the loser.
send it?
Hold on,
It's
stop,
the
time it out.
losers
It's
bracket.
the losers bracket. You have a loss, you go to the losers bracket. That's
You
the
have
way
to
it works
hold
here.
that.
The
Yeah.
Midwest does not pull any punches. Look, if you got the L, it's not lower, it's not alternative winners. It's the losers bracket. That's where you are. Live with it. Just like you got to live with the mix, you got to live with the Oki pressure, you got to live with the losers bracket. It happens to everyone. Welcome to the FGC.
Yeah, as a patented O2er, very familiar down there. It's really not that bad, chat, right? You're there with your kind. Everybody there, is in a similar boat, and it's it's warm, right? We get around that little bucket fire and just try and stay warm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lots of sodium down there, I can tell you that. You won't go short on the NACL at all in the losers bracket.
Yeah. But for now, we're staying upstairs. We're staying in the winner's side.
Yep.
W's only here. And
Yeah,
we are going to be
only
heading.
W's. Only W's. Until we get to probably top 8, then we'll see a little bit. However, what we are going to see right now is Anji, for the first time on LKO stream, coming up to deck versus Trevor. Icebound running the Anji, Trevor running Nago Ryuki. I love to see the representation out here. Let's go.
And this is a fun little matchup too, right? Because Anji's another character that people right out the gate were a little suspect on, because everybody wanted to play him. Fujin was not exactly amazing, and did leave a little bit of a sour taste in some people's mouths, I think. But it's kind of like Axel, right? People are playing him, people are getting the knowledge, they're getting the tech, and so we're starting to see a bit more of it again.
Absolutely. YRC there because Icebound didn't want to see any more of that Nago pressure. Jump out of the command grab. Big counter hit here. Naga on the Fujin. Oh, I think he did press a button as well. We're going upstairs. I told you not to disturb me while I was talking to your moms.
Andrew stuck that toe out and definitely regretted it. That was no fun. Oh, does get the parry spin though. Sets up the butterfly mix up and gets knocked down. Keeps the pressure going. That's so cheeky, right? It's very common that you're going to see butt hop into grab, so you do need to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, you need to be especially careful on that. Trevor needs to be careful the whole way through. Low on life. Empty hop again. Butterfly pressure. Blue RC. That was sick. That was nice.
That was cheap. That was cheap.
That was real cheap. I love to see it. Icebound evening things up. We're going to duel 3. Overhead. Crack the dome right on top of the mass. Trevor in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, that dome does need to get a little bit more certified. Do get the YRC though. Trying to, was burst actually. Excuse me. So now starting to sit in aggro pressure. Jumps out of the command grab though.
I'm telling you, people play Nago and they be hopping. It looked like an episode of Mario Bros. Out here. It is rough business for sure. And Trevor, even worse for him. 2H, nothing doing. Blue kill forward, going to get the close slash. Plus frames. Red RC on the full series for the far slash. And Icebound not fighting at all.
Ooh, look at the back throw coming through though. Forward throw keeps the pressure going. The burst not going to get punished, and the YRC. So many defensive options here from Icebound. And it might not even matter.
It might not. Can this connect? Is this going to be Tipper? It is. Is he going to close it out? Oh no, the tragedy of the blood rage. But the 2H immediately afterwards. Trevor was like, well, if I'm already dead, I'm going out swinging.
Yeah, Icebound, I think they thought that that little, downtime was going to be a bit longer, or they went for, a dash and it just got eaten up, but that slash is huge with the blood sword. It adds like 3 feet. Like, you can't dodge it.
It literally goes to the actual next game in the match. Like, that's how long that sword is when the blood rage is going. Icebound looking like they're going to be escorted into the next phase of the bracket if Trevor keeps this up.
And I like that Icebound is trying to use these parries again, but the problem is the buttons from Nago are so long, you're actually too far away to get anything done in a lot of situations. So we're seeing even Trevor go for the PRC to make it ultra safe, but look at this life lead. Unless they blood burst now, I don't see how Icebound can come back.
I mean, it's possible for sure. You know, the pressure in this game, the Roman cancel abilities could happen, but definitely not. Interrupted by 5K, recognizing the empty hop and saying, not this time.
Stopped right on his toes. Heads into round 2. Trevor with a huge lead once again. Already 1-0, up a round. Just needs to close this out, and they'll be fighting for their winner side top 8 spot next up. Oh, man, the wall spot. Doesn't go for the super, though. Wants to save that meter to make something safe later on, whether it's pressure, whether it's defensively. We're just trying to do something. And the PRC command grab. We talked about that low being cheap, Dynamite. PRC command grab is something else.
Look, sometimes you got to throw a little bit of great crush on them just to let them know where you come from. I see you, Nago. My man turns his music down when he parks.
Doesn't everybody? What? Is that not normal?
It depends on where you're from.
I always, because you got to be able to see where the lines are, so you got to turn the music down.
The lot. You parallel park with lines? I'm talking about parallel. I'm talking about real park.
No, I don't parallel park.
Yeah,
I just don't do it.
Yeah. See, no, that's why I said it depends on where you're from.
Yeah,
if you know, you know. It's okay.
We see. So here's I was technically taught how to parallel park, but when I went for my test, we technically did it, but I was 3 feet from the curb, and the guy opens the door to see, and he's like, whatever. Just slams the door and is like, all right, go to the stop sign, and we're like, oh, alrighty then.
That is amazing and sad at the same time. Definitely not my experience, but hey, get the dubs. I'm not mad at you at all.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, unless you're in Boston proper, it's largely not used. We have tons of parking lots, so we don't. Unless you're in the city proper, you don't need it.
That's fair. That's fair. But what we do need is this next match coming up: Kizzercrate versus Banana Gen. More of the Midwest homies coming through and giving us a show. Thanks for hanging out, everyone who is rocking that twitch.tv/locate esports tab. Make sure you've checked out the match arena as well if you can. We're up to $43 just as I looked. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to see a hundo for the fundo for the night. So if we can get there, which I know we can, it'd be much love and always appreciated.
Man, that thing updated super quick. I saw it at 22, and then that thing just went 43. Love to see it. Love to see it, chat. That's all you guys. 100% on you. Using that code LKO June 21st, GGST, those sponsor quests, the merchandise, all of that goes to contribute and support the players here tonight. And I mean, aren't they putting on a good show? I think they're putting on a good show that is very worth using that coupon code. So if you disagree, that's on you, but still use the code.
Anji, no need to adjust the glasses. It is the mirror match. You're going to be fighting yourself. I am always a fan of watching mirror matches, and unless it's a classic Shoto battle, I cannot stand playing in them, but it is the test of the knowledge of the players, so I'm a big fan of watching it. Kizzercrate versus Banana Gen. Anji on Anji Axer.
It really reminds me of the monk from Inuyasha, for any of you millennial anime fans. But this will be interesting because there is a lot of stuff here that I think Anji players kind of get away with. They probably shouldn't. And so who better to punish that than another Anji player?
Yeah, it's really the check of, that ain't real. Don't ever do that again in your life.
Exactly. Oh man, and it's looking pretty slow already. Both players looking fairly healthy. Fujin, big counter, does force the burst out early. Tried to set up something cheeky with the butterfly there, but it didn't quite come together.
Not at all, but the pressure here from Banana Gen going to keep things going on their side of the health bar until that counter hit land. The burst to keep the corner pressure, I actually very much agree, and so does Banana Gen, getting the round 1 of the first game.
Start here. Big counter once again coming through, this time from Kizzer Crate though. Look at all that damage. Oh, mashes out of the Fujin, but you're still at a huge life deficit. Neither player having burst either, so does have to hold a lot of mix that comes their way.
Yeah, holding a lot. You see a lot of red RC cancels after the follow-up to Fujin just to keep things clean or continue the pressure like Kizzer did there and has another 50 to spin. What's it gonna be?
No burst. That should have done it, but the wall splat came through a little bit earlier than they expected, but does get the down slash. That is the quickest option out of Fujin.
Yep, it is the quickest one. Only, I believe, -4, -5 on block, so, you know, you have to just guard it to really punish it.
We do see another sick combo coming out here, though. Oh, man. Kizzer Crate looking very practiced in this character. He's going to break the wall with the super as well. Get that positive stick, get that damage buff.
Credit looking mighty fine. Is automatically going up on the Experian account, and you just finished paying off a debt. Game 1 going to Kizzer. It's looking pretty good for Mr. Crate.
Duel 1.
Yeah, clearly knows what they can get away with in this matchup specifically, because as we're saying, if you do something you're not supposed to, the other player is largely going to know. So this is the first time we're seeing Vanajin get a significant lead once again. Counter hit into the corner, gets down low. Fujin throw.
Yeah, went for the fan there, baited the burst. Big punishment there, DP Ender and the follow-up. Bananajin being pushed into the corner. Red RC after the low to keep that pressure going. Kizzer with burst as well. May not even need to use it. Oh, the mash out from Bananajin, good stuff.
Went for the grab on Kizzer's side, didn't quite get it. Now past the hold, down back, trying to block all this pressure. No overheads really coming out of these Fujin pressures either. It's a lot of down low and a lot of throw, but nothing overhead coming through just yet.
Sometimes you gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them. Anji opening up the fans again for Kizzer. The Fujin coming through. Empty hop on the pressure. And immediately the answer back from Bananajin to take the round. It's a game of wits right now. And Bananajin solving the riddle for round 1 of game 2.
All right, maybe that's why we're not seeing the overhead. Because it's very negative.
Omega negative.
Didn't quite work out there for Kizzer Crate. They do lose the round. They kind of have to hold that. And now it's back to that neutral game. Back to whoever gets hit first. This forward throw here. Sets up with the pigeon. Didn't quite work out.
Oh, good jump. Yeah, nice jump in there from Kizzer Crate. Going to take a good chunk off that life ball. The throw into the Oki setup. Bananajin hemmed up at the moment. Got swept off the feet. And Kizzer didn't even need the super to finish it out. We're going to round 3 of game 2. Kizzer on match point.
Match point. It's still cool. I don't know if it's for top 8 or not, but it is cool side. It is for top 8. I'm moving forward.
Kizzer playing like he means it. The Fujin into the fan throw. Back hop for Kizzer. Yeah, I got to hit there. Bananajin forced the burst. Kizzer with positive bonus. That credit score going up once again. My man's ready to buy a whole house. Bananajin trying to stop him before he gets to the bank.
Double counter hit. Does relieve some of that pressure there from Kizzer Crate. Bananajin trying to build it back up again. RC's forward. Gets raw Fujin. Oh, but the super doesn't fully connect, which means they're still alive. Never mind. Red RC after the throw just closes it out. Kizzer Crate 2-0 over Bananajin for top 8.
Let me tell you something. Kizzer put out a tweet earlier today, said he was out here to put some spec on Angie's name. And that's right. That's spec with a C and a hard K exclamation point at the end. And he is in top 8 to continue to make sure that people know he wasn't playing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the character's terrible. I do have a couple friends that dropped the character very quickly on release, but that might be to their degeneracy as they moved on to, you know, Ramlethal and Soul. But shout out to O-Scouts during that match with the 10 gifted subs. Huge
For
W
sure.
guy.
For sure. Always appreciated. O-Scouts, one of the owners of Low Kick, usually behind the scenes, making sure things run nice and clean. So always nice to see him spreading the love to the people who come through in the chat. Just like all of you who are hanging out with us. Again, it's time to slang that Matcherino, hashtag Matcherino in the chat. Get that link down there, and you know what? Throw in the code. Free 50 cents to the players. You can go through the quests, sponsor quests on the side if you like to click buttons, and it's a good time for everybody.
Yeah, those codes, again, help out the players that you've been watching here all night. We've been here for just over an hour now, and the players have been, like I said earlier, putting on a great show. We've seen great character diversity as well. Shoutouts to not seeing a single soul player here tonight already. You love to see that. Also, no Remlethals. Man, you guys in the Midwest you're just built different, I guess.
Don't let them lie to you. There's 2 soul players in the low kick circle automatically. Seth subs Ramlethal on the side. Don't be fooled, Doctor. Don't let the instruments deceive you. There's some hidden gems out here for sure.
They're saving it for top 8.
Yeah, something like that. But it's been a good time though. I really have enjoyed seeing the character diversity come through. Anytime Nago shows up, I'm excited. So that's always a good time for me as well. And yeah, the matches have been exciting too.
Yeah, we should be getting another match for top 8 here in just a second. It's going to be Chris Chaos versus Ruffian and Jay, presumably New Jersey, if I had to guess.
You would think. Chris Chaos, long-time Midwest anime player, fighting game player. Shout outs to him. One of the mentors for free, right? So giving advice to the new players, doing what it do. Gives advice all over the scene as well. So definitely knows what's going on with the game. Been running the chip as one would expect, and doing well so far in the bracket. If you look across, has a match for top 8 right now against Ruffian and NJ.
Yeah, another chip player. Oh, against that Kai. Okay, so this is an interesting one, I think, because Kai not seeing a ton of love. I've seen him on Twitter a lot. I haven't seen him in tournament a whole lot. I've seen a set of him on ladder though, which is interesting if you think about it.
I have too. Like I actually have too. I've seen a number of Kais on ladder. Not very many in tournament brackets, but I have seen them on ladder. So they're out there. They're just figuring it out.
Yeah, he has some schmicks, but he's obviously kind of bullied out by some of the other top tiers. Against Chip, I think he might struggle just because of the pace of the game. He does have some really long buttons and some pretty quick ones, but I think he's going to get run over if the chip is on point and is aware of a lot of the situations that plus state and shock state can set up for you.
Yeah, that's the name of the game with Kai. Excuse me. You want to get that shock state rocking so you can start to set up some degeneracy. But Chris Chaos going to punish the stun dipper there. Alpha blades across up and the big counter hit on the sweep. We're at the wall already. Not quite enough for the wall splat, but still has the pressure.
Yeah, you can't fireball in this matchup as Kai, so that removes a whole portion of your shock stage setup. So you kind of need to just do other buttons, and right now you're just getting obliterated into the corner. So much pressure being applied here by Chris Chaos. Gets the red RC, should be able to close out the round, just barely not able to. Just a throw.
Just a little tap in the throw, and that is round 1 to Chris Chaos.
We really have a mod in chat saying that attempted move buff. Maybe remove the sword there from that guy.
Look, we love our grappler players here at Low Kick Esports. We just kind of, we let them do it. They need it. Okay, just let them have it. Speaking of fun, they're going on a trip through the wall, ride the lightning into the next round. Like you said, right? Ruffian was able to apply shock state a couple of times, get those dividends off of the special moves that are enhanced by it, and here we are, duel 3.
Yeah, you get so many extra frames with that shock state and a lot of your moves, and you can kind of cheap out a little bit of situations here. So you see it applied once again. You can make use of it. It's really tough to really challenge most buttons afterwards.
There's the red RC to remove Chris Chaos' turn, but the jump back into the anti-air leaf grab whiffs, but that does not stop Chris Chaos at the moment. Going to keep Ruffian and MJ pressured, the jump over, the teleport out, and the alpha blade down.
Yeah, pretty even on life, I would say, considering it's Chip Kai. But right now, you're just seeing them back away, trying to reformat each other. Shock state comes through. dashes out, gets the air-to-air as well, jumps out of the leaf grab one more time.
Yeah, burst available for both players as well, so that's something that could come into play here. I don't know, though. Chris can't take another significant hit whatsoever. Red RC, YRC to step back. It was blocked and thus punished. Ruffian NJ coming out on top for game one.
Yeah, making it work, right? We kind of talked about how this should be, in theory, kind of tough for Kai, but you know, he's a solid character for a lot of reasons, and if you know what you're doing with him, you can pilot him quite efficiently. And so right now, we're back into game two. It's the first 2-2 here. This is for top 8.
Definitely for top 8. Chris Chaos answering back in game two with the wall spat, positive bonus, making sure to get that meter nice and real charged. Might need to use it soon with this pressure. Decides to FD and jump out with the drill kick. Actually gets a hit and able to have some corner pressure. Another drill kick for the side. An air throw. Ruffian saying, where you going? You're staying on the East Coast.
The air jabs coming through as well. Forces the burst here out of Chris Chaos. The PRC not going to work out. Just a double trade. The Alpha Blade PRC grab is going to work out. Into the red RC. Do you have damage as Chip? Not in that situation.
Oh, the jump back slash there. Going to get Ruffian a little bit of room to operate, and Chris Cass going to be very careful at the moment. And the 6P from the swift air dash. Ruffian was ready.
Yeah, both players there recognized they had pixel HP and had to back away for a second. 6P, it's universally safe, so it does open a lot of doors for some of these characters that might not otherwise have a great anti-air option. Not kind of, he has a DP.
I mean, definitely does. DP's still not what they used to be in modern fighting games, so it can get grabbed. Speaking of getting got, Ruffian being pushed into the corner and the air throw. Chris Gas with the Alpha Blade over, and the mix has begun. What flavor do you like your smoothies, Doc?
I'm a big fan of mango. Just for the orange chip color, by the way. Works out perfectly.
There you go. But right now, it's looking like it's all eclairs. Kai being pushed into the court. Oh, no, the air throw for the answer. And we're going to duel 3. No, it's over. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So Chris Chaos going into the losers bracket. Ruffian and NJ keeping the pink clean.
Ruffian looking really solid there as we get the replay up on stream here again. I think this is right at the end there where we actually saw that air throw. The jump, bunch of P's, just puts him back into the corner. I think he got scooped out of that air grab. He dashed out, so he was over Ruffian. Ruffian jumps up and just says, hey, where do you think you're going? Get back here. And just scoops him right back for the throw.
Wasn't done talking to you. I was not done speaking. And good stuff from Ruffian. I mean, you were listing out some of the reasons why, you know, it's difficult for Kai, right, in that matchup, or can be difficult for Kai in that matchup. And Ruffian navigating those hurdles to sprint themselves into top 8.
Yeah, they clearly showed that they played a chip or two before that, because like we've talked about every time we've seen Chip here on the stream, he's difficult. There's a lot of schmicks going on. There's movement all over the place, alpha blades, leaf grabs. Like, there's a lot you have to pay attention to. And so Ruffian paid attention.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And, you know, it's one of those things where you definitely want to take the note from that matchup to say, okay, I feel, because the way Chris Chaos played it, it really did go well often, but Ruffian was able to get out of those really precarious scenarios oftentimes when Chris Chaos had that pressure at the wall. And I think that's a lot of what made the difference there, you know. And so one of those things that you look back on and say, okay, I see where I made my mistakes here and there, and come back with the experience and ready for the matchup, if possible. I mean, still has a chance, right? On the loser side, could get the run back.
Yeah, could get that run back, the double jeopardy, all that kind of fun stuff. And I mean, that's a character. Both of those are actually characters we're probably going to see a lot more of again as the game moves on, as people start learning some of the more mixes. If we can get something out of Kai, you know, to make that shock state a little bit more accessible, and make the whole game plan a lot more fluid, less like flowcharty, that'll be nice. And, you know, a lot of this is kind of like week 2 jitters, and we presumably you're going to get a patch in a couple weeks from now as well, because we do have that DLC
Yep.
character coming out in July. So we don't know if it's early July or late July as far as I'm aware. So, and also they might not even patch the game. They might just be like, here's a character, fit it into your schedule however you like.
Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Just go
I
full
am
FGC.
I am curious to see, right, what the update cadence will be from Arxis. You know, coming from Grand Blue, they really did like a mix of minor and major changes. The major changes really did feel like it was either when there was a long stint for the next character to come out, or that there was that big season 2 like almost overhaul of the system and the characters. So I'm curious to see what Arxis will do with this game and what the cadence of updates will be as far as balance goes. But for now, let the game cook a little bit. I like to let it cook a little bit, you know?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are of that same mind where, you know, they're like, hey, you just gave it to us. Let us at least figure this out before you change it again on us. Not something MOBA players are used to, but, you know what? Fighting game players are a different breed. We love to sit with our game and learn the ins and outs and every little tidbit of it before you change it on us. But
Yep.
Again, we have a couple weeks left to find out what the first situation is going to be, and then we have another character basically a month after that too. So
for sure. So that's going to be something to keep an eye out for. And you know what? They might not release or do a balance sweep until that second character comes out, right? Because if these first two are in development, they may be making those characters for what's happening right now and just taking notes on the side. So I agree. Like I said, just let the game cook a little bit and see what happens. We know there's some strong stuff out there. Everybody knows that. But at the same time, let's see what else comes from the meta. Because if you just immediately jump in, start changing the stuff that we know is, you know, strong, or like, hey, this is overtuned, and only address that, you might miss the next 3, 4, or 5 things that could be adjusted along with that, right? So
yeah, I mean, do you remember like week 1, like if we take even like week 1 is like that Tuesday when the PlayStation editions dropped, and everyone was like, Soul is a problem, and it's like, yeah, he's strong, he's probably a little bit overtuned, but like I know a lot of people are saying raise everybody to Soul's level. Instead of nerf him back down to everybody else's, which I think is also the correct play, raise everybody up, not sink ships. But like, if they just like focused on that, like Soul's overtuned, Soul's a problem, right? All right, so what happens if we nerf Soul? There's always going to be the next OP if you play that way. So yeah, hold off on the balance patch, I think. Who do you think is going to be the returning character from previous Guilty Gears?
Ooh. You know what I'm hoping for? I'm hoping for Venom. I think Venom's cool. I haven't played Venom, like, you know, when I've dabbled in the gear, but I'm hoping for Venom. It feels like Venom should be here. So we'll see, you know, what comes out. But what about you? What are you thinking about for the returning character?
So I'm thinking it's potentially either Elfet or Jacko, because even though from what I understand, Elfet was a bit of a problem in previous Guilty Gears, he was, from what I can also gather, a kind of a fan favorite. So Jacko, well, like
depends on what fans you're talking about.
but then like Jacko's already in the story too, so I think there's good points there. Yeah, I think there's also a laundry list of characters that you can pull in though. So, and I think the new character is going to be Gold Lewis.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, let me tell you something about my man's Gold Lewis. He's got the eye patch with the heart on it. He's got the coffin with the Area 51. How are you gonna have an alien and a coffin and the eye patch, and he's got the big dad body? People are gonna be going nuts for him. It's almost a no-brainer. Like, you have to put that character in. Like, it's not even a question.
I agree. So now, because I see a message in chat saying put in another zoner. Since the Area 51 coffin was on a chain, if I remember correctly, that they swung around, and he had a giant ass shield, do you think Gold Lewis could potentially be a zoner?
You know what?
You just swing a giant coffin?
Look, listen to me. I've seen things in Guilty Gear. I've seen Zappa. I've seen Testament. They would 100% put somebody with the coffin that fills up 1/4 of the screen in as a zoner.
All right,
If they
you
like,
think he's like potentially a grappler because he's like this big dude like Potemkin, and all of a sudden he's just like, "Don't touch me, stay away."
why not both? Why not
Oh
both?
no, it's a Dalsim treatment. We're gonna zone
Yo,
you and rush you down.
full screen command grabs and the grappling of and the rush down. Why not? Why
Well, yeah,
not?
because
At this
you
point,
can throw the coffin kind of like Birdie has that like chain whip grab from Street Fighter. You just like you whip the coffin at him, you suck him into it, and then you just twirl him around and throw him out again.
yo, it's true. It's true. That would be tight too. Or better yet, the alien comes out of the coffin for like the super. That would be dope too. That would be dope too. I mean, there's so many ways that they could go. I am almost certain that they're gonna put in Go Lewis. Like why how it's just
But the
it's one of
problem
those
is
things
like chaos is also a thing though, right? So
Yep,
like
for
do you
sure.
put in the main antagonist first and leave Gold Lewis for like the third DLC? Or do you just like I think that's probably the idea, right? Like you introduce this main new antagonist, make him playable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, chaos is gonna come in. Like that's for sure. I don't see any way that chaos isn't a character. It's just a matter of when. I like the excitement of, or I like the blend, I should say, of new character, returning character, and if they keep that pace up, I think we'll have a healthy roster. But
Yeah.
for sure, Gold Lewis got to be in there. Happy Chaos got to be in there, and it's really about who they want to choose for returning characters. And you got to think about play styles too, right? Like what's in the game already, what play style or archetype do they want to address, and what do those new characters fit into compared to the returning characters? I know one character that ain't coming back. Deadman. That boy smoked.
Yeah. Speaking of like archetypes in the game, that I think is interesting. 'Cause, like for me, it seems like the predominant one right now, in a way, is like Rushdown, right? And so it literally makes me think back to like season 1, 2 Street Fighter, where people like the game has no defense. It's just who gorillas harder, like who mauls the first one, gets first hit, stuff like that. And I also saw a tweet today that was like, if you're complaining about first to 2, first to 3, it's because you learned how to kill tech before you learned how to block. So
I like that. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to get into the whole long Twitter discourse, but as a TO, I ain't trying to run that first to 3 all the way through. Come on, you playing? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, it can be 2 out of 3, and we can figure it out. Yeah, we can look at the data, but look, people got jobs, people got families. It's not going to be all the way through 3 out of 5 all the way through.
At Casa, we ran 3-5 top 8 for Strive last week on Friday.
Yes.
And we ended at almost 1 a.m.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
thankfully it was a Friday night, so like some of us didn't have to wake up the next day for work, but like that's still super late for an 8 p.m. start, by the way. It wasn't like we started like 9-10 o'clock. Like it was an 8 p.m. start time, and it was like a 4.5 hour tournament with first to 3 top 8. So
yeah, so
take that as you will.
We run first to 3 top 8 in free, the beginner's bracket, and it works out pretty well. And I actually like it because it is a beginner's bracket, so it gives them a little bit more of that top 8 experience and chance. I actually like it, right? But in general, I don't know. I don't know. I'm cool with the finals just being, 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it is going to be, as we learn how to block more, I think this will be a 2-3 game, because I mean, look at the defensive options you realistically have. Like you have YRC, you have burst, in certain times you have like backdash blue RC. So like there's a lot to keep you alive in this game. So I think that when we start phasing out the like one-shotting chip in top 8 and we start getting like more even matches, I think they're gonna go quite long. I think we might be here.
You really like Chip getting blown up, or you've just gotten mixed by Chip, no matter which one is it? Because he's been your health bar victim. What happened?
He has the lowest HP. Like it's not just like he literally has the lowest HP. And yes, I do enjoy one-shotting people, and I do enjoy it watching happening. But like I mean, I could talk about Milia. We haven't seen one of those yet today. I don't think we're going to at this point either. She also has very little HP and explodes when she gets hit. She just doesn't have a clone to double her HP intake.
That's fair. That is fair. But I do agree. I think that once, people get used to the options, people get used to the characters, block string pressure, things like that, we're going to start to see more decisiveness in the defense and more reversal of fortunes, if you will, for people who are on defense and knowing how to exploit things. So it's 2 out of 3 is fine. Let's keep it going, see how it works out. Most games when they're new, people get destroyed, and the damage is high in this game. I mean, obviously no one can debate that, but getting that damage and how it ends up happening, I think will change.
Yeah, I also don't think the high damage is a problem necessarily.
Oh no,
yeah, because like you can do the same thing on 90% of the cast that you play. So if you can't take it, don't give it. Basically, stay out of the kitchen, as they say.
Yeah, it's too hot. Go ahead and stay out the kitchen. And speaking of the kitchen, let's take a preview to see who's made it through into the top 8. Who's still cooking out here? We have Trevor and Ruffian NJ in the upper half of winners semifinals for top 8. Kizercrate and Zach in a Box for the lower half of winner side of top 8. And I see Gantz is home, a winner of one of the free brackets. I'm gonna have some questions for you, Gantz, after the bracket here at LKO. Just make sure to have your identification and registration. Need to have some conversations.
They actually 2-0'd Hydrophobic.
Okay. Well, Gantz is a May player, so it's that mirror match saying, like you said, if you're gonna get stopped or called out by someone, it's likely gonna be someone playing your character.
Man, lots of May plays here in the Midwest. That's you guys. A lot of you are landlocked too. Is this just
wow? I knew it was coming, but we can swim out here.
Hey, listen, I didn't say you can't swim. I'm just saying to you guys, projecting that you wish you had dolphins more.
Well, actually, look. The point is, the character's strong. People are going to play it, and it's okay. I'm surprised that you haven't seen May in ladder a lot. That shocked me. I don't know what's going on or what time of day you're laddering, but just DM it to me. Don't say it here, because then all the May players are going to be like, yeah, we got it. Don't do that. DM it to me and let me know, and then that's when I'll jump on and start, climbing up, seeing if I can get to heaven.
Oh man, it must be tough out there. Swimming through the dolphin swarms and the orca whales.
I got so much May in my life, Doctor. I'm commentating an event called Totsugeki, so that's how I'm living.
That's not a terrible life. There are definitely worse lives out there.
That's true. I mean, that is definitely true. I'll leave it at that. But it's one of those things where I think that people are going to enjoy the characters they enjoy. Yeah, got a match coming up. It's going to be Z versus...
I commentator cursed us. I said we weren't going to see Milia, and look at what we got.
There you go. There you go. It's going to be Z versus Sonic Spear for the matchup. Axel versus Milia. How do you feel about this moment?
So Milia is a character that I haven't been seeing a ton of. The only person that I personally have really seen talking about her has been, well, actually I've seen 2 people, Leffen and Romanova. Romanova, all about the Milia, thinks she's great, loves her. Leffen, not so much. So it's so polarizing in that sense, but I think the character, again, needs a bit more lab work, very similar to Axel and Chip, where she came out in such a state that people, I think, are still learning at her and still adapting to how she plays in this game currently. And I think that Axel should have a bit of an edge here, as long as he doesn't get, mauled on. But I think, we're seeing now, he should have a pretty simple time, realistically.
Okay, yeah, I can see it on paper for sure. There's the burst there from Sonic Spear, wanting to keep things clean and keep that life lead. Axel doing the best social distancing and pressing that we've seen. in a long time. But again, Z able to close the distance. There's that burst. Good block, because that could have been it. Oh, sorry, there's the block on the dust.
Yeah, that could have been a lot of damage. Gets the whirlwind coming through there, and the overhead up top, cutting that hair straight off, and Sonic Spirit takes a very decisive 1-0 lead, I think. And so the reason I think Millie is like okay is like she does have that guaranteed setup with the projectile on knockdown, but she's just, you got to get there first.
You do have to get there, but you know there are ways to get there. Speaking of getting there, Sonic Spirit on the way to round 2 of game 2 already. Killzor in a lot of trouble, able to finally get out of the corner. Oh, the side switch and the bad moon. All right, now we're playing some Millie.
Yeah, I mean the air movement super top tier right now, but you gotta close this gap somehow. And Sonic Spear not giving any room to breathe. That was finding back in the corner here. Gets that burst out. Oh no, is that enough? Needs one more.
Just a dab will do. Sonic Spear goes for the purple RC, and again still gets clipped by the 6P. And now it's pressure time for Killzor.
Sets up the projectile, gets the hit, wall break, and closes it up. So barely any life for 90% of that round, still makes it work.
Yeah, I mean, that is the Millia mix, right? Like you get the knockdown, set up disc, and do what you need to do to get through.
Gotta get that knockdown, and you know, anything as simple as a grab can really start the game. You just gotta somehow dodge all these signals. They're so tough, they're everywhere.
Speaking of everywhere, Sonic Spear is trying to make sure we go to duel 3. However, it's Killzor again pushing forward. Sonic Spear decides to wake up, go for some ranged options there, throw out glow sickle, nothing doing. And Killzor still with that burst. I mean, gold burst could be an option here, but if they get tapped, it might be it.
Yeah, I think they're actually one hit away, goes to the red RC. That's the grab as well, gonna set up with that disc, tries to hit him, gets him low, gets the combo. This should break, but you still gotta do it again. No super means you're still alive.
Oh, look, let me tell you something. If you knock Axel, it's gonna happen, right? Like if you knock Axel through that wall, just expect a sickle already on the way to your face. Just expect it.
A huge counter hit overhead too. Easily forces the burst there out of Killzor. Sets up the disc, goes for the charged dust, but gets the counter hit.
Swept off the feet. Sonic Spear trying to thrust their way straight into a victory, actually. There's the purple RC. Throw just a little bit off.
Does block low this time, so not going to get blown up. Fully charged dust blocked again. Oh, look at this air movement. Can't catch this, can't catch this. Oh, you caught it.
Don't need to if my sickles do, says Sonic Spear, and that's going to be a 2-0. Axel wins.
That's losers pools, so we are doing a little bit of catch up here. That was not for top 8. This next one coming up will be for top 8. So that is setting up Sonic Spear versus Chris Chaos, who we did see just a second ago, fall to Ruffian. So that should be a good matchup, I think. Sonic Spear showed some good stuff there. It did look a little bit like I think Killzor struggled to break through that sickle wall, but I mean that's just Sonic Spirit putting up a good wall.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the thing you do is Axel, you know. And like I said at the beginning, Axel has slowly been creeping up there. You know, not one of the characters that immediately you pick up and you just start mashing Fire Slash on. Hi Soul. But, it's one of those characters where once you start to learn patterns of players, especially, and patterns of characters, can do things. And we've seen that. There was an Axel in the Ritual Motion tournament, Pluralmite versus Omniscypher. It was an Axel versus Ram matchup. And you might think, oh, Ramlethal, that's going to be, what can Axel do if she gets close to him and starts to run the pressure? But Pluralmite put up a really good fight and took it the distance, really, and had some strong adaptations and defeated a Soul to get to Grand Finals. So Axel can definitely do it.
Yeah, just gotta practice. You can say that for a lot of characters, like, oh, just practice the matchup, just practice. But like, this game is fairly balanced in a sense that if you practice with any character, I feel like you can do, or at least get significant results with said character. The only one that I think might have a little bit of struggle is Faust. I really do feel bad for those players because they just, I feel like they weren't given the same tools that the rest of the cast was. Which, I mean, that's Faust, right? Like, he can throw trumpets at you. He's just built different.
certainly built different. My man's is 9'6", so you know it's a little rough out here to be that tall. You're hitting your head on everything. You know, you got to
Bro,
duck in every room you're in.
I'm
It's a
6'5",
rough life.
and I have to duck everything.
I didn't ask you to flex on me like that. Please,
What?
please, please.
Hey, listen, we were talking. You said 9'6". I said 6'5".
Just got out of hand. It got out of hand. You know, I was
It was
feeling
the natural
good.
progression.
This is why I quit basketball.
If I'm flexing on you at 6'5", it's probably a good decision. I didn't even play basketball.
You know what? It's all good. No, but seriously, I think that I haven't gone into the why Faust is bad explanation. I actually haven't looked at it and read it. I hear it a lot, and I'm sure that there's some truth in the criticism and critique. I just haven't dove into it myself. But there are some characters out here that are just naturally pick up and do what you need to do, right? Like let's not mince the words about it. So, but I definitely think, like I said before, Axel, not one of the characters that are in that always struggle time. It's just the matchups, you know, and learning the patterns of the players and what your strengths are. Speaking of Axel, we're going to see Sonic Spear coming up again against Chris Chaos, so more loser side action. Chris obviously running the chip, and this will be the last pools match before top 8 proper.
I'm super curious how this matchup is going to go, because we saw earlier in the night a lot of the Alpha Blades were interrupted on chip, and so I'm curious if Axel can do something similar, because I feel like that removes a huge portion of the chip advancement that Axel can play to his advantage and try and keep that distance between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the name of the game. We see Chris Chaos already losing a ton of health, just trying to get in and run some pressure. Sonic Spear taking it easy, and Chris Chaos with plenty of work to do.
Oh, that was grimy. That was full screen command grab, PRC command grab.
Look, sometimes you just got to put all the chips on the table and say, I get what I get. And right now, Chris Chaos got corner pressure running.
Back to the wall, doesn't have a full reversal, needs to do something to relay this pressure, gets the hit down low, throws out the exploding sickle, but you're still back against the wall. But never mind, back throw gives you all the screen to work with here. Just what can you do with it?
That's the name of the game. Alpha Blade actually interrupted or punished. I wasn't sure about that one, but Sonic Spear taking a little bit of a lead. Chris Chaos fighting back. Bursts available for both, but Chris Chaos is the one that's down around.
Oh man, so much alpha blading. You gotta keep track of it, and it's tough. There's a lot of movement on the screen. That is what chip does to you, and you know that was one of those situations where not having a reversal, Sonic Spear did have to hold that.
Yeah, and all the damage was coming out in this round as well. Screen break situation into the stage transition. Meter climbing for Chris Chaos. Sonic Spear needs to make it happen quick.
PRC forces the burst here out of Sonic Spear. Does get another nice air throw. Tries to give him a bit more space, but these buttons are tough to break through for Chris Chaos.
All right, well, speaking of breakthrough, counter hit here for Chris Chaos. Not going to go through the wall, though, and ends up on the wrong side. YRC, Sonic Spear tried to get something going, but Chris Chaos with the aerial assault going to close out game 1 and just move a little bit closer to top 8.
Yeah, I do think that the bum rush there from Chris Chaos was quite strong when it worked. But when we're seeing the Axel one work out, it's such a different game plan. And we're seeing now the wall pressure being applied. The nice Alpha Blade does get them back to mid-screen. But that kind of benefits Sonic here because they're just able to do what they want.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's where Sonic wants them, right? They want mid-screen, far range. Stay away from me, and I'll just, have fun over here. You stay there, I stay over here, and no one gets hurt except for you.
And the throw's just barely not enough. Just needs a little bit of a pixel wish to the PRC.
That was nice.
That was chip. That was literally chip. It was a chip kill. So.
I see what you did there, and I'll give you points for it. Chris Chaos down around, so we're going to need to make up and do a little bit of extra credit work. Here comes Sonic Spear with the throw. Immediate wake-up buttons from Chris Chaos. The disrespect on full.
Yeah, well, he tried for the command grab on Sonic's side, so Nice little read there. Does get the instant interruption. Goes for it again, but you're sending him to another dimension at this point.
Shadow Realm possibly happening for Sonic Spear, at least for this round. Chris Chaos with the block string there. Sonic Spear not biting on anything. Gotta wonder if the throw is coming. Quick RC. Yeah, finally yellow RC. That risk gauge is cranked up, but Sonic Spear busting out with an anti-air there. Low spear, Chris Chaos gotta be careful.
Waits for the landing lag, gets the button, does tie it back up round-wise. Chris Chaos on set point now, and could be securing themselves a spot in that top 8.
For sure. Here's the corner pressure again, and now the guessing game begins, right? Sonic Spear down to half-life. Guts soon to be activated for Axel.
I feel like Guts for Chip should kind of activate sooner.
Stop it. Sonic Spear keeping Chip away. The purple RC
no.
keep himself clean. And now Chris Chaos in a little bit of trouble. Manages to jump in. That kick is disgusting.
RC?
Red RC through the wall. You better believe it.
Yeah, it's going to get that positive bonus. Does need to get a little bit more. The very aggressive burst there does end up working out for him as Chris Chaos takes the round, takes the game, takes the set, takes the top 8 position away from Sonic Spear.
That was, really good stuff from Chris Chaos. So we saw the chip aggression there, despite Sonic Spear doing also a pretty good job of keeping Chip away. But I mean, the character's so fast. Chris Chaos, right at home with Chip and running Chip for a long time in gear, and just making it happen despite Sonic Spear's wall of sickles.
Yeah, it was really tough to break through it, but like you said, they're very seasoned player with Chip, so they knew what they needed to do. And I kind of want to talk about that command grab, PRC command grab situation for a second, because it's something I saw on Twitter a couple days ago where you can do that almost guaranteed with a lot of characters if you can time it right, because there is that landing lag. So if you see somebody use all of their air movement and you time it properly to when they land, due to the landing lag, it's almost a guaranteed command grab, which I saw it on Twitter, so take it with a grain of salt.
Really?
Is it right? Because if they use all their air movement,
yes,
they have to land, and because
yes,
it's a full screen command grab, you just kind of scoop them with the right timing.
Right, and they have the recovery. Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff to think about. That's what I'm saying. There's so many layers left to peel back on the game, especially with things like the RC system and punishing certain scenarios. I think that it's going to be really interesting to see what can happen. I saw some Twitter text. I'm really bad at quoting people's Twitter, so I don't know where I saw it. But essentially, you force an air guard. You force an air guard, right? And then you red RC. The red RC pushes the person back who's in air guard recovery. While they're landing, there's a special air guard recovery landing animation, and that disables them from actually protecting themselves and can go in and get damage. It's wild.
That's not, red RC is like almost a problem.
Almost.
We're getting there.
Look, if RC wasn't, a strong or favorable system, then it wouldn't be guilty.
Sure.
Speaking of, it wouldn't be LKO without some fantastic sponsors and merch from Kick Esports. Go to kickit.store, grab that clean Midwest shirt and the hat as well, looking fresh. Shout outs to LK Hot Boy running the modeling gig for us. Kickit.store. It's a good time.
We do also have this event coming up here, Saban's Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. You can follow that link, smash.gg. Well, that's tonight's link, right? Okay.
We combine it all together. You go there and it's all the events.
Yep. So smash.gg, LKO June 21. The link is also in the chat here, thanks to the exclamation point there. So go ahead, sign up for Saban's Power Rangers the Grid. That game actually looks sick and so fast paced, but for me, it's just a visual game. I can't play that game for the life of me. It's too fast, too quick, but you get the sick Zoids, so you love to see it.
Shout outs to Rangers. And of course, don't forget next week, same time, same bat channel, same bat station, whatever you want to call it, Tuesday, the 29th of June, Guilty Gear Strive back at you, 7:30 p.m. Central. Sign up quick because that bracket was halfway full before this bracket started. So make sure you jump in and have a good time with us next Tuesday for some Guilty Gear Strive.
Gotta respect the caps. Gotta get in early.
Speaking of early, free beginners tournament week 3. If you're starting out in Guilty Gear and you're starting out in fighting games and you have both of those things under your belt, you want to try out Guilty Gear, go ahead and sign up for free. Week 3 starts Saturday, June 26th at 5 p.m. CST. You can sign up at smash.gg/free S1. It is open to North America. If you're listening, whoever you are from Greece, we love you, but please don't sign up again.
It's only like 200 ping, right?
I mean, what's 250 MS between friends?
Just between friends, though, not anybody else. If you're an enemy, get out of here. We don't take your ping and go somewhere else.
Speaking of going somewhere else, you don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break before top 8 starts. Grab yourself some refill on the agua or whatever you happen to have with you for a nice Tuesday evening, and we will be back in 5 of them.